friends? It's J Lobos coming back to you on another episode. And on today's episode, I wanted to talk to you guys out there who are probably struggling. You're going through a situation with your credit cards, with your creditors. Maybe you kind of feel choked up, maybe tighten up. Maybe you went through a situation where you probably lost your job or a couple of hours, and now you have a lot of debt. And I wanted to go ahead and share personal things that I've done within myself, things that have happened to me in the past, and things that tend to happen. But there's obviously certain solutions, and I wanted to share these things with you. So if you guys feel out there that you're kind of choking with debt, these are a few quick tips that you guys could go ahead and apply for your own self and to try to get you guys out of that situation. So one of the first things that I always tell people, we actually offer a program which is called debt stacking. That debt stacking program, it's a software, by the way, but if you obviously don't have the software, these are tactics that you can do within yourself. First things first, take a note of an inventory within your credit card. So the first thing that you're supposed to do is either have a spreadsheet or write it down. You're gonna go ahead and put all your credit cards, all your debts in one single piece of paper. You're gonna start off with the lowest balance of debt that you have all the way to the biggest. I know obviously having interest rates and things like that is really important, but nevertheless, sometimes I hear people telling me certain things like, well, I apply some to this one, some to that one. I give a little bit more to this one, give a little bit more to that one. And those strategies, it's not that it doesn't work or not, but through the debt stacking debt elimination process, I think the most effective thing that you can go ahead and do is write down the one that has the lowest balance of a credit card or a debt that you might have all the way to the highest. What happens is every credit card, every debt usually has a minimum payment, either a fixed payment or it has a variable payment depending on the balance. So my suggestion that I always tell people is instead of paying additional income or resources or more money to a specific account, focus on the one that has the smallest balance and focus all that resource into that one. Why? Because one of the things that I've seen, or even personally myself, is that once we eliminate that small balance, you're gonna first off create momentum, and you're also gonna create confidence because you're gonna feel good that you got rid of that debt, and so on and so forth. So what happens is a lot of the times too, people don't realign their goals or their objectives. So in this particular case, even if you had a minimum payment on that first credit card of 25, 30, 40 bucks, whatever it was, $100, you're not gonna use that minimum payment and go out and splurge or maybe go on a movie date or something along the lines. Now you're gonna have to really buckle down, realign your goals, assess them, and you have to be disciplined. We're gonna use that additional minimum payment as an additional resource to now tackle the second smallest balance that you have. So again, you're not gonna throw additional payments to these additional creditors or credit cards. You're gonna use all of your resources possible to tackle that second one, and so on and so forth. Again, now you have a second minimum payment that now you're not paying anymore, but this is where you have to go back into your spreadsheet, go back into your, and analyze the situation for what it is, be disciplined, and continue to go down through the process. That's a debt elimination strategy, debt stacking program that I highly suggest for people to go ahead and take inventory of themselves, and it could possibly benefit you to get out of debt a lot much faster than just paying random accounts and throwing additional resources to those items. So I hope obviously that helps. An additional tip that I always tell people, depending on where your credit scores are at, one of the things that I've actually put on our website, buildwordstrategies.com, check it out. On top, I actually have something that says credit card apps. And basically what I put there is more like dictating or depicting, depending on what your credit scores are, the type of credit card that you should apply for. But in this particular case, the credit card that I wanted to actually highlight is the one that comes with a balance transfer. So if you look all the way at the bottom, you might find a couple of credit cards, such as the Bank of America credit card rewards. It might come with 0% interest for 12 months. You have the Discover It card that might come with 18 months, 0% interest. You have the double cash reward. There's other creditors out there that also offer that. You might want to just maybe Google it. So just Google credit cards with 0% interest. And you're gonna have a plethora, depending where your scores are at. Obviously, the higher the score, the better, the higher the qualifications are gonna be. So the score is gonna determine the probabilities of you being approved. So anything above a 660, 680, for the most part, you should have this option available to you. But nevertheless, through the balance transfer process, the objective is to try to tackle the one that has the highest interest, or even possibly with the one with the highest balance. So if you do get approved, it's pretty simple. You could either go through the app, you could call them directly, and what's gonna happen is that you're gonna have to put the card information or the account information of the one that you wanna liquidate into the new card that you're gonna go ahead and get approved for. And once that balance transfer takes place, that other account, again, you need to discipline yourself by putting that card away or not using it, because we don't wanna get back into that same rhythm. But at the same time, now you're gonna pay principal and you're gonna continue to knock that out, which obviously it's a huge help. Once you go ahead and start paying that account, you're obviously hitting principal. So if actually, as a matter of fact, depending on how fast you get rid of that, you technically have a period of time that if you get rid of that, you might be able to add additional credit cards in there with higher interest rates and continue to knock it down, because obviously they give it to you for a term, 18 months, 12 months, 6 months, things like that. But use that to your advantage. Obviously, is a resource. Another tip that I wanted to go ahead and share with you guys, maybe talk to your bank. As a matter of fact, one of the banks that actually I know personally that usually offer like personal loans. Personal loans are pretty cool because they actually offer credit at a 3%, a 6%, which are actually fixed compared to credit cards, which are usually variable and they're usually high rates. So one of the things that you want to go ahead and maybe talk to a credit union. Space Coast Credit Union, I believe they offer personal loans. Talk to your banker, see if your bank offers that. And if you do, apply for it. Again, it's contingent to your credit scores, guys. So this is obviously for you guys out there that maybe haven't stopped making payments on your credit cards and still have okay credit over a 620, over a 640, you might have this product available to you. So once you get approved, go ahead and pay some of those credit cards with high limits, high interest rates, and better yourself on there. Again, discipline yourself, rearrange yourself, regroup yourself, make sure that you're not splurging, overspending. And this is the last tip that I wanted to go ahead and tell you guys, and I just wanted to be real. If it's necessary, you might have to get a second job. Reality of the matter is the following. The only way to get out of debt is by having more income, more resources, things of that nature. And if you're going through a process that maybe in your job, they lower the hours, or you may be going through a difficult situation, take on a second job. There's jobs out there as simple as maybe applying for Lyft, applying for Uber, maybe doing that on your spare time, on the weekends, who knows? But obviously take that into consideration. And the last thing, if it's even necessary, do an inventory within your home. You know how much junk we have in our houses, additional phones that you might be able to go ahead and sell, an additional tablet that who the heck is using. Who knows, your kids maybe grew up and they probably have toys that you're no longer using. Maybe you have stuff stored in the attic or even in your garage. Go through that stuff. They have apps such as OfferUp. Sell that stuff up. Use that income, use that resource, pay off some of your debt. So guys, I hope this was obviously very informative, very educational. I hope to see you guys getting out of debt. And to next time, thank you so much. And by the way, guys, if this was very informative to you, like, subscribe, and comment. Share this video with your friends. Thank you so much for the love.